So this is our Oak Creek wild horse. Just literally got in this round pen out of the horse trailer 15 minutes ago. She's had about 15 minutes or so to just kind of hang out. Isaac is just for the first time kind of just saying hi to her. And this is a horse that pretty much has not been touched by humans unless it was in a loading chute. Has been in a wild herd for, that's been out in our back hills here for about 100 years or so. And she's a beautiful girl. We can't really tell how old she is. I guess is probably 4 or 5. She's not that big. She's a nice little girl. And pretty sweet disposition, beautiful body conformation. And Isaac's more or less just going to be working on trying to get her to look at him and not show her rear, and kind of, let her inquisitive side take control. He turns his shoulders so he's non-threatening, and he's making sure not to look at her like a predator might. So we're going to set up a kind of a more professional camera system out here in this round pen and kind of film and do a little video diary of how the progress goes with gentling and training this wild horse, which is she's a beautiful girl. And she's got her eye on him. She's got that inside eye. She's checking him out. She's got an ear on him. There she goes. Put an eye back in on him. He turns away, releases the pressure, gives her the reward. Now he puts some more pressure on her. He turned his shoulders square. You can see she turned away. And he's gonna kind of wait. There's the look. She turned her head back. She put an eye on him. He turned and released the pressure. Now he put the pressure back on. She turned away again. Not as quickly this time. A little more pressure. See if he can get her to turn her head back. Yeah, she turned her head. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to see. I couldn't see that one because she's so dark and her eyes are so dark. But when he leaned in real hard on her there, she looked at him with her inside eye, and then he backed off and he gave her 45 degrees with the shoulders, released the pressure. Now he's coming back in, a little pressure. Doing there, he's staring. Let's see, what's got going on there? So he's just playing kind of like a pressure and release game with her, staring at her rear. Ultimately, what he wants to be able to do by staring at her rear, he wants to be able to drive her rear out and turn her chest in. So right there, he put pressure on the rear and he got her to turn her inside eye and put it on him. So he backed off. So what he's teaching slowly is when he puts pressure on the rear, she gets released by turning her eye and her head in. And how this will play out in the future is when he's driving a horse in the round pen, just by looking and putting pressure on the rear like that, the horse will actually stop and turn and face in and look directly at him. So he's putting pressure. He's waiting for that eye to come around. He just released. See, she turned. Look at her body posture. She turned her ass or her rear to the outside. She brought her forefront to the inside. She has her head in the center of the ring. She's looking at him. So what did he do? He backed way off. Look how much pressure release he gave her. So she just got a big reward, right? And as long as she stays in that position right now, he's going to give her that release. Okay. She had taken her eye off of him, so he had stepped forward. Look, her eye is off of him, so he's stepping forward and he put pressure on her. And then when she looks center again, see if I can back that up so we can get that. She looks away, he puts pressure. She turns her head back to the center, he gives release. See, she's not paying attention to him. Again, his gaze is going to her rear. And when she turned inside, he backed away. Now again too, when you're working a horse in a round pen, when you change directions, you want them to change by turning inside and not outside. So see, now she turned to the center and looking at him, and he just gave a big release. There's a big reward. You look at me, you pay attention to me, you face me, and I back up. Okay, again, he's working her rear end, putting pressure on her rear, staring at it. Okay, now she's not, she gave him the rear, she walked away. Gave him her rear, so he made her work. He moves the whip, he makes her move her legs. If you ever watch horses in the wild, the dominant one always pushes the submissive one. They will drive. I have a mare out in the back who will drive my other horses around the turnout all day long. And that's how she shows her dominance. She gets on the hip, she pins her ears, and she pushes them around. So that's what Isaac's doing right now. Up, there was a turn inside, so he released. He'll play this little